I apologise in advance that this will be entirely in English, so a little bit of Polish, so you might want to apologise. I first want to say, I knew it would be difficult to follow a speech by Ben. I didn't follow a bloody word of it. For an occasion such as this, it's traditional that I thank you all for coming here to share this special day. And I particularly want to thank Ben and Kasia. It wouldn't have been the same without you. Before I undertake the customary duty of giving Ben an uncomfortable few minutes, it is part of the official role of the best man. It's part of the official role of the best man to thank Kasia's sister Magda for the maid of honour for playing such a key part of this really special day. And I have to say that Magda was wonderful and has done an excellent job. So, if everyone can please charge their glasses for a toast to Magda, the bridesmaid. Na Duzna. The bridesmaid.
Magda. Drink. You've got a drink.
I'd also like to thank and congratulate the parents of both the bride and groom on this wonderful occasion. I'd like to ask you all to join me in drinking a toast to the parents. Rodzice. Na rodzice. Za rodziców. Zdrowie. It is also a tradition for the best man to compliment the bride. Something that in Kasia's case takes absolutely no effort. Kasia, you look radiant. And I'm sure everyone would agree with me.
Yeah.
You look like... You look like one in a million. In contrast to Ben, who looks like he was won in a raffle. Ben, I'm sure everybody here today agrees that you are a very lucky young man to have taken Kasia's hand in marriage. We all know Kasia is beautiful, intelligent, funny, warm and caring, and by all accounts, she deserves a good husband. So lucky for you that you married her before she found one. To the single gentleman out there, I'm sure you'll all agree with me that it's a momentous day, a sad day, as yet another beautiful young lady is no longer available and becomes a bride. And to the ladies, as Ben becomes a husband, I'm sure you'll agree with me that for you the day has passed with barely a ripple. For those that don't know me, I'm Mark, Ben's older brother. My parents were obviously so thrilled with their first attempt at a son, they thought they'd try again, hoping perhaps that lightning would strike twice. Alas, Ben came along. I know it's hard to believe looking at the two of us that we're even related, but it is true. When Ben asked me to be his best man, I was extremely proud, but I also, to be honest, that I was somewhat nervous at the thought of giving a speech in front of so many people. So I sought out my family, and each of them had a different piece of sage advice. Imagine your audience naked and you'll be fine, said my dad. Which rings true since he spends a good part of his time in Formentera, where odds are any audience you speak to does actually contain naked people. My brother Joe, on the other hand, suggested that a good speech should be like a lady's skirt. Long enough to cover the subject, short enough to be interesting. Which also makes sense, because Joe's a bit of a tart. Finally, my brother-in-law Darren gave me the piece of advice that I thought would work best. The best man's speech should go on for about as long as it takes the groom to perform his duties in the bedroom. By that measure, I'm already 2 minutes over. But if you don't mind, unlike Ben, I'd like to keep going for a little bit longer. Seriously, on behalf of the bride and groom, I'd like to thank all of you for making the effort and coming to celebrate with Ben and Kasia. Many of you have travelled from far and wide to be here today. The turnout shows how much affection so many people have for Ben and Kasia, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful time. So here's a toast to family and friends. I'll get this wrong, but bear with me. Rodzina I przyjaciele. And so far, happily, everything is going according to plan. The only problem we've had is that Ben and Kasia had a bit of an issue with the seating plan. They really couldn't decide where everyone should sit, so, true to form, Ben decided to link it to the wedding present list. He decided to sit those who bought the biggest items nearer the front and work back from there. So Amanda, is you back there? Ben and Kasia wanted to say thanks to the oven glove. As best man, my responsibilities today were threefold. To ensure that the groom arrived 1, on time, 2, sober, and 3, looking good. Well, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. And I think you'll forgive me for the third. After all, I'm the best man, not a miracle worker. Joking aside, I'm not really the best man tonight. I'm just a pretty great guy. The best man here tonight is Ben. Or is he? I'm really here today for Ben's character assassination, but in preparing this speech, I soon realised how difficult the job it was going to be. All looked well at the beginning, with plenty of harmful material to ruin what's left of Ben's good name. But once I'd edited it for taste, destroyed the parts incriminating myself, and after the police took the remainder away to help me with their ongoing investigations, I found myself with a lot less material. As a result, in the hopes of making this speech more interesting, I turned to the internet for ideas. And after a couple of hours, I had to say, I found some pretty good stuff. And then I remembered I was writing a speech. Rest assured that as I continue, unlike most traditional best men speeches, which are full of crude and tasteless puns and sexual innuendo, I promised Ben and Kasia that if anyone finds anything slightly risque in my speech, I'll whip it out immediately.